Crazy how our Dryad just transformed into a Primeval Titan like that, isn't it? It's in play, thanks to Garruk. That was a pretty impressive Garruk turn, I'm not gonna lie. Garruk doing absolute work this game. We're back again for Garruk Relentless. I know you've been clamoring to see this 4-mana powerhouse of a Planeswalker in action, and if you're like, what the heck is this guy doing playing Garruk Relentless in his Amulet deck, then you need to check out match 1, where I detail exactly what card choices are being made here and why, and some of the concessions that are being made. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything more about the deck list. Let's just jump into match 2 here. We'll hop on in here. You got 30 seconds to join before you get paired against somebody who's not playing Garruk Relentless, playing against that name. And we have a turn 3 Garruk hand off of turn 1 Turn Timber Amulet, turn 2 Land, turn 3 Crumbling Vestige into Garruk. We're playing against another Lurrus deck, which is interesting. I think we keep this. We don't even have to play Amulet on turn 1 if we don't want to. I think we might, though, just to try to play around Inquisition or Thoughtseize. To be honest, though, I'd rather them take the Amulet than the Garruk with this hand. I don't really know. It's safe to play a Valakut, and it preserves us an extra untapped source. We could also just play the Vestige and concede to playing Garruk on turn 4 unless we draw something different. If our opponent leads on Inquisition, they'll still have a window that Thoughtseize us to take the Garruk anyways. Alright, I'm just going to play the Valakut. Don't want to take the damage. Being too stingy. If we get discard spelled and the Amulet gets taken, whatever. Or our opponent's on Red Prowess. Quite possibly. Could be a Death Shadow or Grixis deck, like last round we presumed it was. I don't know if there was Death Shadow in that deck at all. Probably not. But this time it looks like our opponent's on the red fetches, so we're expecting Monastery Swiftspear and Soulscar Mage here. Garruk Relentless likes to pick on these little guys, I tell ya. That all happened very fast, by the way. Could be a sign that my internet is lagging out just a little bit, but that's fine. Oh, we don't want to float this mana before we go to our main phase. That would be not the greatest. We're definitely playing Amulet. We can afford to Vestige into Explore here because we still get to put another land into play after this, so this just gets us a card deeper and a land in play. So that's cool. Make some green. Make an Explore. Make a Castle Garenbrig. Sure. And if we find a Titan, sadly we cannot actually activate Garenbrig to cast it because we only have 1 green mana. It was quite close, though. Alright, we get Garruk this upcoming turn. Maybe it'll be good enough. We'll see. So this is Jund Lurrus. Probably Jund Shadow, I would think. Another Swiftspear, alright. Well, we get to flip Garruk. I don't think we can use the Garruk's other side once it flips. They're going to Thoughtseize and take the Garruk, probably. Well, if they do take Garruk, even Azusa off the top won't let us cast Turn Timber. So, there's that. That would only be 6 mana, as we can't use Garenbrig to cast a Turn Timber, obviously. It's creatures only. Could have been green spells, or something like that, but no, it's only creature spells and abilities of creatures, so. That said, what am I saying? That said, it depends on if our opponent thinks they can beat us this upcoming turn, because they might give us a turn to Turn Timber a Titan into play and just kill him on the spot, so they might feel inclined to take the Turn Timber here. And that way we get to eat up one of their Swiftspears, and maybe even a little bit more damage if they try to kill our Garruk flip side, after it transforms, of course. Very interesting stuff. We could also potentially play it in 0 and just make it 2/2. I think that's way worse than just killing a Swiftspear, though. Let's be honest. Our opponent's really tanking on this Thoughtseize. Maybe they're reading all the abilities of Garruk Relentless. They take the Garruk. Opponent. Come on now. I guess if we draw an Amulet... No, we still can't cast Turn Timber, even if we drew a second Amulet, so... Titan. Ugh, so close. Yet so far. We could play the Turn Timber. So even if we were to play out Turn Timber here, we would not be able to cast it after playing a bounce on this upcoming turn because we wouldn't have enough green. So probably is correct to just go ahead and play out the Valakut. So that's what I'm going to do. We could play Turn Timber, hope our opponent doesn't discard the Titan, but also protect the Turn Timber if they have double discard spell. But then we would still need to draw another green source, so it's like not really that helpful. I'm just going to play the Valakut and hope we can maybe even kill our opponent with Dryad. Alright, land pass. That's all we got. We can still cast Titan this upcoming turn, regardless of not being able to activate Garenbrig, thanks to the fact that this is 6 mana with a bounce land, so don't need to worry about that. Well, we didn't take more than 2 damage from these guys right here. We get to put a Titan into play. Let's see. Don't think there's much we can do here, though. We can get Radiant Fountain and something else, and shrink our opponent's Scourge down to a 6/6. Then just die to TBR because we're probably not blocking. I don't think there's anything else we can do. It's not like we can transmute Tolarios right now, so. I think it's okay to pick up the Vestige here as well. So I guess the safest thing to do here is to get Radiant Fountain and Simic. Pick up the Radiant. We wouldn't be able to transmute Tolarios, though, this upcoming turn. We would be able to just cast Turn Timber and hope to hit a Dryad that way, however. And just block the Scourge and hope we're not dead and hope we can find a Dryad and our opponent doesn't have interaction. That, or we could just take the 6, block a Swift Spear even, or maybe even not. I mean, we're definitely getting Radiant Fountain. I guess it just has to be a bounce land. We need to be able to transmute this Tolarios, so not attacking into our opponent's Scourge, as they might just take the damage. Which we actually don't want them to do, especially if they have Shadow, so shrink the Scourge just a little bit. Pick up that Radiant and pass it back. I apologize for some of the background noise as well. It is unavoidable, unfortunately. So now, when we turn Timber this upcoming turn, we can either hit another Titan, which could be lethal, especially with how our opponent's attacking, or we could hit a Dryad and get a couple Valakut triggers, potentially. Gain 2 more life. Get out of range of the Scourge of the Skyclaves doing some nasty stuff. Okay. Explore. Well, we don't have time to cycle that one. I think we're just going straight for the Turn Timber. This is 6/7. Yeah, here we go. Cast. Our opponent would have to have exactly Dismember for the Dryad. We have the Titan. Interesting. We could do something very similar to what we did last time. We could get a bounce land and something else. Explore, play Radiant Fountain, go up to 9, and make a similar kind of block. We could just go straight for lethal with Dryad. Getting Titan and attacking and putting them down to 4 is not necessarily lethal. Although putting them to 4, and then using the post-combat attack trigger to play Explore and play Radiant is much the same as not attacking here. So I think Dryad attack, put them to 4 is going to be the best line. It does let them play a couple Shadows, but then we have the potential to transmute Tolarios and just get Dryad and kill them, so don't think we're super worried about that. Sure, we'll get the Titan. It plays around Dismember. Alright, so first things first, Garrison and Slayer Stronghold, of course. We'll haste our dude. Pick up a land. Probably just the Stronghold, I would think. probably won't be needing it in play this upcoming turn. Want to leave maximum amount of mana in play, and we'll have plenty of lands, I'm sure, to be able to trigger Dryad. So we'll pick this one up. Oh, we could have played the Fountain first, and then gotten Vesuva Copying Fountain and something else. That would have been pretty good. So, that said, we do have a land drop remaining here. So, double bounce land, pick up a tap bounce land, play bounce land, lets us transmute Tolari West and get a Dryad with Summoner's Pact immediately. Yeah, actually, so we have a lethal line here if they don't have Dismember, and otherwise we get to block with the Titan. So, let's go with Growth Chamber and Sanctuary. I forgot that we hadn't played a land yet. We'll pick up the Growth Chamber, so we have the blue to transmute, of course. And we'll pick up, I guess, just the castle. That's fine. They go to 4. Now, a single land with Dryad in play is going to be lethal, so... And even then, if the Dryad dies, we can use the mana produced by the land that we play to cast Explore and put Radiant Fountain into play. So, we are looking pretty good here. I don't think we want to pick up a Valakut, so let's just pick up the Garrison, I suppose. We'll transmute. No reason to leave anything but green floating. We'll get a Pact. We'll Pact 4 and cast Dryad, and if they don't have Dismember, then they're dead. And if they do have Dismember, then we still have a plan. Dryad into play. Guess we'll play Vestige so that we can cast this Explore. Maybe it would have been a little safer to go for for picking up a green bounce land instead of the Boros Garrison. If I didn't have this Crumbling Vestige in hand to save me, then, you know. Opponent says something in the chat that I cannot understand. Probably something rude, but who cares? We're just here to play some Magic and have fun anyways. They can say what they like. We will bring in trackers for grinding purposes. The explosives and chalice, of course. Dismembers seem like alright. Alright. Grazer is good against the prowessy versions, but they also probably play Death Shadow, so probably not that great. It will die most likely once it blocks, so I'm okay with trimming Grazers. Bog can go, although, I mean, it is relevant against Lurrus, but I don't think that we can try to play around that. Ghost Quarter can go. Cavern taps for green, but we're not really trying to play heavy on Grazers anyways, so we'll cut it. A couple packs can go. Don't want to get caught having to pay 4. Turn Timber can go since it costs us life as a untapped source. Garruk it's alright. It makes chump blockers every turn, which is pretty relevant. Not huge on Azusa. Probably can trim Explore here as well, since they're both discard-based and a little faster. Maybe we keep the Azusa instead. Sure. We'll send it this way. If we have a 1-drop, we'll play it on turn 1 and then play a turn 2 Chalice. And if we play a turn 2 Chalice and draw 1-drops, I don't care. Here's our hand with a 1-drop and a turn 2 Dryad, which is probably better than a turn 2 Chalice, I would say. Who knows, though? We'll definitely keep, of course. See if our opponent has a discard spell. If they take our Amulet, it's not great for us, but what else are we going to do? They're probably going to play Swift Spear out, I would think. Yep, there we go. Right to play the creatures generally so you can get the early clock on, establish our life total as less than 20 so they can get a Scourge of the Skyclaves in play. If they do have a discard spell and would have taken Amulet, then that is the cost of this play, but I'm not saying that it was wrong. They bobble us, so they know what's coming. Garenbrig. That one's fine. We'll play Amulet, pass it back. Discard spell doesn't even stop us from playing Dryad on turn 2. If they have a Thoughtseize, they can take Titan. If they have an Inquisition, then they need a Thoughtseize. Bobble. They're doing the prowessy thing. To be honest, with only 2 Summoners packs in the deck, Chalice on 0 is not unreasonable, especially if they get Lurrus in play, but they'll probably have threats to get back with Lurrus, so I'm imagining probably that won't be the case. If they have Kroxa, which they might, then I suppose trimming the Bajuka Bog from the main deck could hurt us, but we'll see. Assassin's Trophy, the Amulet. Hey, we get to play Dryad on turn 3, on turn 2, my bad. Anyways, that's nice. Look, our opponent discarded a card and let us trade our Amulet for a basic land. How nice. We got a 1-mana Rampant Growth that made our opponent discard a card. Does that seem that great for them? Because it doesn't seem that great to me. Dryad. Do we play a Growth Chamber into a Cleansing Wildfire, potentially? Because we won't be able to play Titan if they Wildfire us. If they Wildfire the Garenbrig anyways, though, then we'll have 4 mana with no way to make a 6th mana for Titan. We could make a 5th mana by picking up a untapped source that we could then play, but I think it's probably right to just go ahead and get the Growth Chamber out here. If they have the Wildfire, they have the Wildfire, and that would be pretty wild, but I don't know if that would be wild enough, in all honesty. If they Wildfire us and just pass, like, I'm pretty happy with that. So, if they Dismember us and Wildfire us and attack for 3, I will be pretty unhappy. So don't do that sequence, opponent. You don't want to. Trust me. Fatal Push. That one's fine. We can still just slam a Titan, so not the end of the world. Would like to be able to bog our opponent here, but, well, they're taking away our Titan, so we can haste an attack with a Dryad. Put them down to 8. Make their shadows better. I don't know about that one. I mean, it does put the clock on them if they don't have another threat here. If they're planning on playing a shadow after this Thoughtseize, then we might be a little bit up the creek without the paddles, you know, but we'll see. We could even draw a Valakut or Tolari West, and that would still be good. We'll take the 3. Sad times. They're bolting us. That's better than them playing a threat, in all honesty. If this is their hand, then we're pretty happy with that. So, Tireless Tracker. Sign me up, I think. Let's see. Is it better to just put them to 6? Nah, I think Tracker's got to be better, right? Yeah, Tracker's got to be better. We'll put a Stronghold into play. Nah, let's just go ahead and get the Garrison out of our hand. We'll have more cards to deal with later down the line. I guess the one downside of this is we can't crack the clue on our opponent's instep, but oh well. We'll pick up the basic forest. The Painless Land, the easiest one to play. We'll yield through the turn. Do we want to trade for a Swift Spear if they have exactly 1 spell? I don't know. Probably not. They trophy the tracker. Hey, I mean, that's fine with me. Now we get to crack the clue. We still need to draw a Titan here, but Titan definitely cleans this up quite easily. Oh, we had yielded. Okay. Well, it's alright. Garruk is here to save the day, so let's play the Dryad out here. First things first. Might not be playing any of these lands, to be honest. Let's go ahead and get Garruk into play here. We'll kill the Swift Spear and transform the Garruk so that we have a efficient way to deal with Death Shadows and the like. Garruk looking pretty strong here. Of course, we can't activate the backside of it. Do we play out the Stronghold? I don't think we do. Just cards in hand. What's wrong with them? Dude, we can actually sacrifice our Dryad to go get a Titan if we wanted to. That would be hilarious. Or if we just top deck... I don't know if we play Colony Garden. I don't remember. But if we just top deck like a Colony Garden or an Arboreal Grazer or something. Oh, our opponent's at 0 cards. If they just get Lurrus into their hand this turn, I feel very strongly about our position, in all honesty. Alright, just pay 3 mana, put Lurrus in hand. That's all you need to do. All you need to do. That's all you want to do. It's so tempting. Look, it's exactly 3 mana. It's using your mana efficiently, opponent. What can I say to convince you? We even have the chance to crack a clue here and try to find a creature to play and then sacrifice to Garruk. Yep, 3 mana. Lurrus in hand. I don't know if we can beat that, guys. I don't know if we have an onboard way to beat Lurrus at all. Dryad. We can play Dryad, land, sacrifice, Titan. Yeah, we can kind of do the thing. And I think we're doing it. Getting Titan into play literally right now seems pretty good. Must say. We will sack the Dryad. Search for a Titan. Boom. Primeval Titan. Activate. Cast. Into play. Crazy how our Dryad just transformed into a Primeval Titan like that, isn't it? Alright, so I guess now we set up Talari West and a bounce land. It would be hilarious to be able to use Caldy Garden to set up another Titan here thanks to Garruk. Don't have that, sadly, but we'll have to deal. We could also get Valcut here. I think Talari West and bounce land is the best. It means that they have to have exactly land, Kroxa, and Assassin's Trophy, so yeah, let's just do this. And I think our opponent probably can't win anymore. We even have the Double Strike ready to go. Just on board. That was a pretty impressive Garruk turn, I'm not gonna lie. Garruk doing absolute work this game. I'm so proud of him. And remember what I was saying about Garruk being relatively on plan? Well, this is the plan right here. It's in play, thanks to Garruk. One of the benefits of playing a card that actually is synergizing with your plan on some occasions. See what our opponent has here. We got 2 black floating and a red. It's not Liliana the Veil. Oh, they're just casting Lurrus. Cool. We can double strike our Titan and get in for exactly 10 points of damage, even without them being able to gain the life from the Lurrus thanks to first strike. So, our opponent is DED. Of course, we're going to plus Garruk first, for value. Alright, draw your card. We get the gist. That one's fine, that one's fine. Alright, uptick Garruk. Go to combat. Attack. We'll search. Might as well. Our opponent is very dead. On board. Alright, let's get basic forests. Because heck yeah, we love basic forests here. Double strike this guy. And you're dead. You're dead. It's over. You're done. Blocks are fine. Do the damage. And another match taken down by Garruk Relentless. Whew. This time, Garruk did actual tons of work, though. Garruk took out a Swiss Spear. Garruk let us get the Titan that ended up winning. And if our opponent had the answer to Titan, Garruk would have just pumped out 1/1 Death Touchers, so we could eventually either sacrifice one if our opponent didn't get rid of it to get another Titan, or just completely straight up trade with their Death Shadows indefinitely. So, whew. Now that is a pretty convincing Garruk Relentless. Gotta say. Anyways, I will see you guys for the third match here. Already had a lot of fun for the first couple matches. Currently completely undefeated. 2-0-2-0. Garruk OP. And I will see you guys in match 3. This is Red Face Menace. Signing off.